Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to welcome you guys to the Straight Jacket Syndicate Crazy Talk. This is your host, Banana Mancer, and we've got ourselves another special guest here today. We have another fancy guild member, and his name is Cody. How's it going, Cody?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing just fantastic. And Cody is also another awesome member of the Straight Jacket Syndicate, ladies and gentlemen. He is just a fantastic member, and he's actually going to talk about something special for us today, something that you Guild Wars members might actually be interested in doing yourselves, even though you may not have actually done it. Cody is actually a very avid RPer in this game, which is actually going to get us a very nice look at what some of the other genres are, aside from just doing the World v World and also the PvE aspect. All right, Cody, so I'm going to ask you just a couple of questions that we have over here on the forums. First off, let's start. What actually got you into RPing in Guild Wars 2?
My brother, actually. It started back in World of Warcraft, and, I sort of saw him doing it one day, and I was just, there. And then he told me I should try it, and, I sort of said, no, that's not something for me. And then it just grew on me,
Okay, all right, sounds very fair. Now, what is one of the main things that you actually enjoy about the RPing?
It's a good question. Probably making up characters, the character development aspect of it. Not really so much the tavern aspect of it, because a lot of RPers tend to stick around in taverns, and that's not really what I like to do. I like to have character-changing events where the character learns something or, develops an interest or solves a problem in his past.
Awesome, awesome. Okay. Now, I understand that you have one of your main characters that is an RPer. Why don't you tell us his name and tell us a little bit about him, like some of his class stats and what kind of story you've actually built for him?
Well, my main character is Rafaz Scornfall, and he's a ex-Ash Legion Char Thief. And, well, he got kicked out of the Ash Legion when he found his war bandmates were having a fight. And it was actually one of his Legionnaire and one of their other bandmates. And what they were trying to do is one was trying to kill the other in order to gain the Legionnaire title from them. And then what he did is he intervened, got in a fight, and it was too late, so the Legionnaire died, but he also ended up slaying his warband mate. And the sounds of combat just drew the other warband members, and then they found him standing over the two corpses of his bandmates, and, well, they assumed the worst.
Sounds like you've got a pretty little dark backstory for your character. Now, just as a suggestion, we talked about having some of the new players come into Guild Wars. It's kind of hard to actually take on the game alone, especially if you don't know anybody in the game. What would you recommend for somebody, just as an RPer, if you were to see somebody who was having a hard time in the game, what would you do to kind of help make them feel a little more welcome and a little more comforted by their situation?
That's a good question. Well, probably what I'd first ask them to do is join a guild, because that's definitely a RP guild, to clarify. That's definitely something, you should do if you're an RPer, because otherwise you might get, trolls hanging around the taverns, and you're not going to find much, random RP out there.
Now, that's another thing that you mentioned. Do you have a lot of problems as an RPer with people actually kind of, like you said, trolling and also just making fun of you in general? I personally don't mind RPers. I think they add a lot of concept to the actual game. But do you have a lot of haters? I mean, it kind of seems that it comes with the background.
No, actually. They're mostly confined to popular hotspots, like in Divinity's Reach, mostly around the taverns. It's mostly confined to there. Otherwise, no. There's, the community is mostly welcoming. It's a great community, and I'm happy to be a part of it. And mostly, no. I mean, I would say no. I don't get a lot of trolls.
Well, that's good. That's always good to hear. Now, I do have a couple of final questions, and we're going to do this from an RPer's standpoint. And I myself, as the Banana Mancer, have a question for you and you alone. Do you know who the Muffin Man really is inside of the Straight Jacket Syndicate?
I have no idea. I am completely not guilty. But he's out there, and he's looking for you.
And we will find him. I will make sure of that. Alrighty, thank you, Cody.
Or he will find you.
I really do appreciate all of your time, and thank you for coming to speak with us. Do you have any shout-outs that you actually want to get?
Yeah, I'd like to say hello to my guild, and you guys are great.
Alrighty, thank you very much, Cody. Alright, guys, once again, if you guys are interested in maybe joining the Straight Jacket Syndicate, you can always go to www.engine.sjs.com. That's where you can actually go and try to get registered for the guild. If you actually are accepted, we will contact you via the actual guild leader or one of the fellow officers here. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the podcast, and stay crazy!